Hey guys, so WWE Extreme Rules 2018 went down tonight to cap a very eventful day in sports. You had Novak Djokovic winning the Wimbledon final, France won the World Cup final. My Reds fell to the Cardinals in their third and final game of their three-game set, but they did win the first two games, so it was an eventful weekend for the Redlegs. SC Cincinnati won last night. They had the minor league baseball All-Star game today with two Reds prospects representing. And then, of course, this week we got the All-Star Game, Home Run Derby. Cincinnati has a national broadcast game on ESPN2. So it's a big week. But for today, Extreme Rules capped off a very sports-filled day for me. And let's hop right into it. The first match on the card was on the kickoff show, which had two matches. It was Almas taking on Sin Cara. This was a pretty good match. Actually, some really cool spots. Almas and Sin Cara have good in-ring chemistry. And just like what happened on SmackDown, Almas got the win tonight, helped cement his spot as the top contender on the SmackDown brand and getting a win over Sin Cara, who's known on the roster. He's been on the main roster since like 2011. Getting a win over him will do wonders for Almas going forward. And with the rumors circulating that Rey Mysterio has signed a new deal with WWE, I would not be surprised to see Mysterio return to the SmackDown brand if he does not go to 205 Live. Return to the SmackDown brand and feud with Almas to help build Almas up, similar to what he did to Alberto Del Rio when Del Rio first joined WWE. The next match was on the kickoff show as well, and it was the first match to play into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view gimmick. It was a tables match, six-man tables match between Sanity and the New Day. This was a fun match to watch. Tables match can never go wrong, and we got a great team like the New Day, and then you got, of course, Sanity making their names known on the roster, the main roster. You're always in for some good action. There was a really cool Tower Doom-like spot, but in the end, Sanity got the win. No surprise here. WWE is continuing to build up Sanity, much like they did Almas, trying to boost his credibility on the main roster since he moved up from NXT, doing the same thing with Sanity. And having them win a tables match over an established team such as the New Day will do wonders for them going forward. So I have no problem with Sanity winning, and I would not be surprised to see Sanity and New Day continue to battle out in the future. After that, it was the main card, and the first match on the main Extreme Rules 2018 card was the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The Leaders of World defending their Raw Tag Team titles against the B Team. And in case you didn't know, it was Bray Wyatt versus Bo Dallas in a brother versus brother type of match. And what could be considered the upset of the year so far, the B Team actually picked up the win over the Leaders of World. I was stunned. I thought they were going to be kind of like a comedy act like Breezango has been for the most of Breezango's tenure as a tag team, but the B Team gets the win. The match itself wasn't too great, typical Raw tag team match pretty much. But yeah, the B Team getting the win. I believe this is Axel's third title reign. I believe he had a previous tag team championship reign. I know he's an Intercontinental title, and now he's a Raw tag team champ. And for Bo Dallas, aside from his NXT title reign, I think this might be his first championship reign on the main roster. So it's pretty cool to see that even though they're no longer part of the Miztourage, WWE is continuing to do something with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, as they are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. I don't know if they're going to defend it against the Leaders of World. You gotta believe that Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy have a rematch clause, or maybe this loss will lead to a potential split between Hardy and Wyatt. That remains to be seen, but the big story here, the B Team, the new Raw Tag Team Champions. After that, it was Finn Balor taking on Constable Baron Corbin. They've had a rivalry going the past couple weeks. This match was pretty solid. Good action throughout. Corbin is pretty much dominating Balor throughout a majority of the match, but Balor ended up rolling up Corbin for the win, and with a quick little pinfall, and Corbin was irate after. So it doesn't seem like this feud is going to be over between the two, and I had no problem with that. They had a pretty good match tonight. I can see what they can do with the story, giving it more time, and maybe a potential gimmick match later on down the road, possibly at SummerSlam. I think that's the next big WWE pay-per-view coming up. But as I said, Finn Balor gets the win tonight over Constable Baron Corbin. After that, it was the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Asuka taking on Carmela, with James Ellsworth being suspended above the ring in a shark cage. And this was pretty funny, actually. So they had Ellsworth in the cage above the ring. He was dropping down stuff to Carmela. He dropped down like a chain, that body spray that he sprayed in Asuka's face on SmackDown. But he ended up having a key somehow. I mean, I guess they didn't pat him down because he was wearing his big coat filled with a bunch of stuff. So they just didn't pat him down before he went in the cage. So he had a key. He managed to unlock the door, and his pants or something got like stuck on the edge of the cage. So he was dangling by a leg from this shark cage, looking like a big piñata. Asuka was wailing on him, but it ended up costing Asuka as Carmela shoved Asuka right into the shark cage because they had to lower to try and get him down. So Carmela shoves Asuka, she gets head first right into the shark cage, and Carmela ends up pinning her to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't think this feud is over between Carmela and Asuka. Obviously, there's going to be a big blow-off match at SummerSlam. I think that's when Asuka's going to finally dethrone Carmela and win the SmackDown Women's Championship. She's come close a ton of other times. It's usually been some screwy finish, like last time it was Ellsworth in disguise. This time it's Ellsworth dangling from a shark cage, and that was really funny. You gotta check that out. Yeah, but so I do not think this feud between Carmela and Asuka is over. I think it's going to continue until SummerSlam, with Asuka finally getting the win over Carmela. And who knows, maybe that's when Charlotte comes back to the main roster and issues a challenge to Asuka at SummerSlam. Now that Asuka could possibly have the belt, that remains to be seen. After that match, it was the United States Championship match. Jeff Hardy defending his title against Shinsuke Nakamura, and I was all set for what I thought could be a show stealer in this match. That was not the case. Right before the bell rang, Nakamura hits a low blow on Jeff Hardy, and then the ref checking on Jeff Hardy. He said he's okay, and as soon as the bell rings, Nakamura hits a Kinshasa on Hardy, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. He's your new United States Champion. It was over in a snap, just like that. So that was pretty much the match. Low blow, Kinshasa. Now Nakamura's your new United States Champion. The big news coming out of this match, though, Randy Orton is back. After the match, he made his way to the ring. Looked like he was going to challenge Nakamura, but then he ends up hitting a low blow on Jeff Hardy too. So Randy Orton might be a heel, might be a tweener, might be a triple threat type of match at SummerSlam involving Orton, Hardy, and Nakamura going forward. I got to tune in to SmackDown to see where WWE is going to go with the storyline now that Randy Orton has inserted himself back in it. The next match on the card was the cage match, and this might be the most memorable match of the night. It was Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. Now, over the past couple weeks, Braun Strowman has been tormenting Kevin Owens and acting like a heel, so I don't get how Kevin Owens is considered the heel in this story when Strowman's been the one doing all the tormenting. But the match itself, it was very entertaining. Strowman and Owens told a very good story inside the ring. Owens was being resilient. He was looking like a face in this match. He was being resilient. He was having Strowman hurt himself basically by having Strowman run into the cage. He was taking advantage of it. He ended up getting a pair of handcuffs and locked Strowman to the top rope by the door. And so Owens, in one of the funnier parts of the match, he did a DX cross chop to Owens, told him to suck it, and then blew him a kiss goodbye before calling up the cage. But as I said in my previous WWE pay-per-view review video, I have a fear that WWE is turning Strowman into like a Roman Reigns type of character where he's able to overcome the odds. Because, as I said, he was handcuffed to the top rope, and he just snaps the handcuff right off the top rope. Like, come on. Okay, it would have been one thing to, I don't know, maybe have Strowman unscrew the top turnbuckle, but just have him like snap this handcuff in half and then like straight up bolt over to Owens. I mean, that's something that I feel like they would have Roman Reigns do, or John Cena a couple years ago when they were making Cena Super Cena. I feel like they would have something that's something they would have those guys do. But so Strowman ends up breaking free, climbs the cage, and just tosses Owens off the top of the cage through the announce table. A 6 spot. Looked very painful. It's the second time Strowman has tossed Owens off something very high. And so Owens just crashed the announce table, but he escaped the cage, so he ended up getting the win. And Strowman was still standing tall on top of the cage as they wheeled out Owens on a stretcher. So yeah, I don't think this feud is over. There's probably going to be something at SummerSlam. My guess is it's going to be Owens versus Strowman again, and maybe this is where Owens finally gets a win or something, because I feel like they're going to have Brock Lesnar show up at SummerSlam, defend the Universal title, possibly against Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley or somebody, but I feel like Strowman's going to walk out of SummerSlam as the Universal Champion thanks to his Money in the Bank briefcase. And in order for that to happen, they usually have that person lose early in the night. So Kevin Owens, I think, will beat Braun Strowman at SummerSlam somehow, but he also beat Braun Strowman tonight in a cage match by a technicality. The next match on the card, it was the Bludgeon Brothers taking on Team Hell No with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line. This was an okay match. Before the match, the Bludgeon Brothers took out Kane by traveling his knee in a door and smashing it with a sledgehammer. So most of the time, it was just Daniel Bryan taking on both of the Bludgeon Brothers. Kane eventually did make his way to the ring in a walking boot, and it just proved to be too much for Team Hell No to overcome. The Bludgeon Brothers get the win. I'm fine with that decision. Makes Team Hell No, doesn't make him look weak in defeat because Kane was hobbled earlier in the night, and at the same time, it boosts the credibility of the Bludgeon Brothers. They're still being made to look like monsters in the tag team division, and this win just cements that status for them even further. The next match was Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. This was a really good match. I thought this might have been the main event because it has Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns pretty much main events everything these days. But Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns put on a very good performance. Two big bulls battling it out. They had a really cool brawl, I think this past Monday on Raw to start the show. And I thought Roman Reigns was going to win this match for sure, hands down. But Bobby Lashley surprised me, and I'm pretty sure a good majority of WWE fans, by hitting a spear on Reigns and pinning him cleanly for the win. So I was really excited to see that. Bobby Lashley not being tossed aside. It looks like they're trying to build him back up to that big-time superstar status he had in 2007 before he left to do this whole MMA and TNA stint. But yeah, so Bobby Lashley gets the win here. On the Raw or the Extreme Rules post show, he says he wants to challenge Lesnar for the Universal title. Lesnar is supposed to show up on Raw tomorrow or be stripped of the Universal Championship, so it could be setting up for Lesnar versus Lashley at SummerSlam. I would love to see that. I don't want to see another Lesnar versus Reigns match, but you never know. Reigns currently doesn't have anything going for him aside from this storyline feud with Lashley, and they also are going to play up that fact that technically Reigns did beat Lesnar at the Greatest Royal Rumble event earlier in the year. So it could be a triple threat between all three at SummerSlam. Might just be Lashley versus Lesnar, but I do not see Reigns versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. The next match was the Raw Women's Championship match. Extreme Rules match, Alexa Bliss defending her title against Nia Jax. This was an okay match. Ronda Rousey, who was suspended, was at ringside because she bought the tickets. Predictably, she hopped the barricade, got involved in the match. There's a lot of weapons involved, trash cans, chairs, kendo sticks, but Mickie James ended up being a deciding factor in allowing Alexa Bliss to retain her Raw Women's Championship. She had a couple of chair shots on Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss did a DDT on Jax on a chair for the win, so she successfully retains her title. Going into SummerSlam, I could definitely see them doing a triple threat between Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, and Ronda Rousey. There's no way they're not going to have SummerSlam without Ronda Rousey, so it's either going to be Bliss versus Rousey or Bliss versus Jax versus Rousey, in my opinion. Now, the next match was the WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Rusev. I had no idea who was going to win this going into this match. I thought Rusev had a legitimate shot at winning the title. A lot of the crowd, they were hopping on the Rusev Day train. They wanted him to win. It was a very competitive match, very good match. AJ Styles never has a bad match ever. He's the best wrestler on the planet right now. And he was able to successfully retain his title after a phenomenal form. They played this part of the storyline during the match where Rusev was having like a leg issue, so he couldn't lock in the accolade. And then Aiden English tried to help Rusev out, but ended up costing Rusev because he ended up hitting his head on an exposed turnbuckle. And so in the end, Styles hits a phenomenal forearm, pins Rusev, and successfully retains the title. I would not mind seeing, though, Rusev versus Styles at SummerSlam. And maybe that could be the crowning achievement for Rusev. A big pay-per-view over an established guy like AJ Styles that could do wonders for Rusev if he wins the WWE title over AJ Styles at SummerSlam. After that, it was the main event of the night, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Rollins challenging Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship, and this is probably the match of the night. Very good match. The crowd, well, it was funny. It was also annoying at the same time. They were counting down every time it got to like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They would count down and make the buzzer sound. And eventually they started booing because WWE removed the clock from the Jumbotron, but with like 10 minutes left, they put the clock back on to make the crowd happy. And the match itself was really good. They got two of the best wrestlers in the company today, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, going at it. Can't go wrong there. Rollins went up 2-0 and then 3-0 after Drew McIntyre got involved and gave him a disqualification win. Ziggler was able to capitalize on that by getting 4 straight falls against Rollins. And then Rollins was able to squeak out another fall toward the end of the match. Of course, though, Rollins' super kick, curb stomp, can't get the pin in time, so it ends in a 4-4 draw. Kurt Angle comes out, says there's going to be sudden death overtime, and as soon as that started, Drew McIntyre made his way back to the ring, causes a distraction, allows Ziggler to hit the zigzag and get the 5th and deciding fall over Seth Rollins to successfully retain the Intercontinental Championship. I do not think this feud is over, not by a long shot. There was a big gap, though, with like, I don't know, a minute left. Dolph Ziggler just rolled out of the ring and looked like he was going to try and walk through the crowd with Rollins going after him. It was tied at this point, and the announcer was saying, "Oh, Rollins is just going to try and escape and, leave with the title belt." Common sense would say just let the guy get counted out and you get the fall. Rollins would have gotten the 5-4 lead. But common sense doesn't exist in WWE, so they're saying that was a smart decision on Dolph Ziggler. But as I said, common sense doesn't exist in WWE storylines. But the match itself was really good. Best match on the card. I highly recommend watching it. And as I said, this feud is not over. Ziggler versus Rollins is definitely going to continue. Might be, again, another triple threat at SummerSlam, or could be, I don't know what they're going to do. If they're not going to insert Reigns in the Universal Championship picture at SummerSlam, they may have Rollins and Reigns team up to take on Ziggler and McIntyre at SummerSlam. So there's a couple different possibilities they could go with the storyline moving forward. And that was pretty much Extreme Rules 2018 in a nutshell. That was all I got for you. It was a good show. Nothing too special. Definitely check out the 30-minute Iron Man match. And definitely check out Braun Strowman tossing Kevin Owens off the top of the cage. That was by far the moments of the night. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Check out my website, cincyfanzone.blogspot.com, and follow me on Twitter at Cincy Fan Zone. Links to those are in the description below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.